guys, how's it going? It's Al. Welcome to the week 4 recap video where we're going to talk about everything that happened in week 4 on DraftKings. I'm going to go over my cash game lineup, my Thunderdome lineup, my Millionaire Maker lineups, everything on Underdog, my Scott Fishbowl. We're going to go over the winners, the top 10 in the SmizzGang Listener League from week 4, as well as everything that happened in Rainmakers. It's a big recap this year because a lot of things are going on. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the channel, ring the notifications bell, and subscribe to the channel. It helps. It really does help a lot. So I appreciate it when you guys subscribe, and definitely when you ring that bell. So let's get to it. Let's go.
He's a legend.
First thing that we're going to do is go over the cheat sheet, which is available in our community Discord. About 10,000 people in the Discord right now. You have to do a couple of things. You got to become a channel member here on YouTube, or you've got to be a subscriber on Twitch. That's $5 a month. Go to smizzle.tv/join. That'll take you to the membership screen where you can become a channel. You get a nice little badge next to your name, get all the emotes. It will also unlock the VIP channels in our community Discord at smizzle.tv/discord. Every Friday afternoon, the cheat sheet goes up when you've linked your account properly from Discord to YouTube, and it can verify that you are a paying channel member. The core cash game values crushed. And there's something I'm going to have to get to because after the cheat sheet came out, it introduced another $2,700 lower quarterback, and I built 2 cash game lineups. We're going to get to whether or not I played the right one or the wrong one in just a bit. But Anthony Richardson absolutely crushed again. 30.6 DraftKings points. Kyron Williams, volume over everything at running back. Volume plus great matchup definitely leads to good things. 30.7 DraftKings points for him at 6K. Smash. Christian McCaffrey, 9,200. Outpaced that at 51.7. Smash. Keenan Allen snowflaked with 12.2, but everybody had him, so it really didn't matter. It didn't hurt you. And Josh Palmer was fine with 10.7 DraftKings points for his 4K in salary. He was just fine. He hurt you in tournaments, but we knew that we were looking at this caveat in tournaments that, like, look, you know that Josh Palmer is going to be really highly played, so find other ways to go. Hopefully you found your way off of those Charger stacks yesterday because of the quarterback situation for the Raiders not pushing them. James Cook, guess what, guys? I was told all last week that James Cook does not get any red zone snaps. I made the argument that he's getting a third of the red zone and inside the 10 snaps. Well, he doesn't get any of the goal line stuff. Got 2 goal line carries, turned one of them into a touchdown. 6,300. He was fine. 19.7 points. 14.7 points is fine, but not thrilling, especially in GPPs. Devon A-Chain with very little volume. We may have gotten lucky with this one. Because he did not get a ton of volume, not a ton of opportunities, but he made the most of it with 30 DraftKings points. Tutu Atwell, 7.4 points on 9 targets. 9 targets again for Tutu. This one you were unlucky with. Chris Olave, they just couldn't throw, right? They should have started Jameis Winston in this game because Derek Carr in his shoulder could not fling the pig at all, and 2.1 points is disgusting. Deebo Samuel and George Kittle were basically just getting cardio. It's not a situation where Deebo, you could say, well, Deebo was a decoy or Deebo didn't play much because, well, he was injured. Deebo led the team in routes run. He got like 1 target. George Kittle, nothing. Najee Harris, Calvin Austin, DeAndre Swift, 11.3, 5.9 for Austin, 17.9 for Swift. Didn't set the world on fire. If you played them in tournaments, you were behind because of how good McCaffrey and Williams were, right at the top of the top value plays and everything else. Alex Madison, we definitely got unlucky here. Sometimes we're wrong, and I'll definitely say it when I'm wrong, but we also have to realize when process was right and we got unlucky. And with Madison, we definitely got unlucky. He got more than enough opportunities. They came from behind and did not throw the ball to the running backs for whatever reason. He had the lion's share of the snaps and carries, way more than Cam Akers, who the reply guys were very worried about all of last week. Just didn't catch any balls. They threw a stupid interception on like the 3-yard line that went back for a touchdown. Ended with 10.8 points, 90 yards, averaged like over 6 yards per carry. He did everything right. At 5,800, got very unlucky. Javonte Williams, injuries suck. And I think that this is not a process mistake. I mean, not because of the injury. We can't plan for injury. But the fact that the kid behind him, the all-time NCAA leading rusher, went for 100 yards from scrimmage against this Bears defense, it's always going to come down to opportunities when you're playing against a bad, wholly inefficient defense like the Bears with running backs. If you're going to play a running back, they're going to get 20 opportunities, which is why I put this caveat on him. Depending on 18 opportunities, he should have gotten there. He would have gotten there. Unfortunately, it went to the kid. McLaughlin, Jaleel, had a tremendous day, over 100 yards from scrimmage. So this would have been a win, but for the hip injury, that sucks. Devontae Adams, this sucked because AOC just kind of could not put it together. O'Connell just didn't have it. Puka Nacua, another smash day. His price is way up. Kind of where it belongs now, but now if Cooper Kupp comes back, his price has to come down because he's not going to get the amount of service that he was getting before. So this is now a weird situation with Puka Nacua, but he certainly on fire. Adam Thielen, more than fine, 15.2 points, left the game with injury. Luckily he came back, didn't score a touchdown, didn't get more than enough volume to totally pay it off. Josh Palmer caught that 50-yarder at the end, already talked about him. Calvin Austin, when a 3K guy misses by like 3 points, it's not as bad as like when a Devontae Adams misses, like when you're paying up for that big guy. Like Jamar Chase missed, and that absolutely sucked. George Kittle absolutely sucked. Zach Ertz did not. 11.3 points. No differentiation at tight end for anybody on this list this week. The differentiator was somebody that the Sims loved, and that was Cole Kmet, who caught 2 touchdowns. Pat Freiermuth, the cash game guy at tight end, I think it was like 80% or something like that in cash games and high stakes this week. 3.7. Dalton Kincaid, 6.7. Definitely outsnapped and out route ran Dawson Knox this week, so that's something to pay attention to moving forward. Chigo Okonkwo, who I personally preferred to Pat Freiermuth, had 5.9 points, but that's not going to separate you. That's not going to win you much. Chargers, problem situation because the Raiders, I said upside is depend on Jimmy G playing. We were correct there. Wouldn't double Hoyer. We were correct there. The Bengals just seem broken, and they seem broken because of a calf that does not work right now. I'm probably going to keep going to the Bengals in future weeks. I'm fine if you don't want to be there anymore, but like they're going to go off at some point. I don't know when. I don't know when Joe Burrow's calf is going to feel better, but when it does, they're going to go off. The Bills definitely went off, and it went off through the alpha stack with Stephon Diggs. They also got the contribution from Gabe Davis. They also, if you paid for Kincaid, you didn't get much from him, but it opened up the ability to get somewhere else. The best bring back on the other side was A-Chain. Didn't really get enough out of the Dolphin stack for it to be worthwhile. Colts definitely did fine for you. San Francisco did fine, but very specifically. It had to be a specific stack, and that's why we open up Christian McCaffrey. Anytime a running back has potential of getting 15% or more of the target market share on his team, you do want to stack him with the quarterback. Austin Eckler is that type. We've seen Alvin Kamara be that type. He was that guy this week, getting like 14 absurd targets because Carr couldn't throw it more than 5 yards down the field. Steelers did not work, and now Pickett might be dead. And the Rams stack would have worked if you used Higbee and Puka along with it, even though the world was not set on fire by Matthew Stafford. That's the cheat sheet. Hopefully you did well. Hopefully you started with the cash game cores and hit a stack around them. Looking at my cash game lineup, I did not do well. I'm focused here not on one person, but I'm focused on, this was the cash line. This is the $250 double up. It pays the top 150. There was a large train at 142 on the same lineup. 39% of the field switched to AOC. In the $500 30-man, he was like 80% played. Christian McCaffrey, everybody on him. Kyron Williams, everybody on him. If you did not play one of them, you were kind of being the rake, and if you did not play both of them, you were definitely being the rake in this tournament. 64% on Palmer, he was fine. This was the problem. If you went to AOC, it was to go up to Jamar Chase. That's what ends up costing me. Thielen was fine. I told you Freiermuth was going to be the guy that everybody had, and everyone in the world had Keenan Allen. Sharp switch by this team, or this group, to get up to the Ravens in that spot. We're going to show only mine. I did not finish in the money in this one. I went to AOC. I had the correct stuff elsewhere, but this Chase Dell 2v2, which was like Puka and somebody else, I forget where else I was. It was like Puka and then like Austin with Anthony Richardson AR-15 up top. Really, really, really was the difference, right? You're talking about this scored what, 26, and the other one scored 60 plus. Like, that immediately pumps this lineup way past the cash line and up into this full-on safe zone up in here, right? Where you got to be in the top 150, and it would have been a top 50 lineup. So that 2v2 really ended up costing me going to AOC. Also, I was on the Purdy stacks. I originally had the triple, the correct one, and I pivoted off of it because I felt that CMC was going to be too widely held. I went with the Madison Thielen bring back. I had Marquise Brown 7 for 96, didn't catch a touchdown. Both of those went to Michael Wilson. 8.6% on. Probably should not have ate the chalk with the Browns defense. Could have gotten different going down to Carolina like we talked about on the anti-Tinkercast. I did not do that in my lineup. And obviously Kittle and Samuel with 15 total yards is not gonna be enough at high stakes. That's just the way that it works out. I did something way different this week, something I've never done with my Millionaire Maker lineups. $3,000 brought back $1,100, so a loss there. Losses all over the board for me in daily fantasy this week. I won elsewhere this week to kind of make it a wash week. It turned out being a break-even week. I think I had like 11,000 in entry fees this weekend and cashed for what, 1,100, but I won a ton in Rainmakers, which brought it back to like being an even week. So whew, on that one. What I did differently, I usually just totally manicure my stacks and allocation. I wanted to try out the Sims over on the solver. So because I've been using them as kind of a tool, but I wanted to see what it would do in the Millionaire Maker. So I took my quarterback stacks. I ran 150 lineups with each one of the 6 quarterbacks that I was going to use. And then I took like the top 20% of those lineups and put them into my saved lineups. And I ran this a bunch of different times. And I saved it by like the highest ROI sim stacks just to see what it would spit out, because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see how it was going to do things differently for me. Some of the allocations on players were different from my allocations that I would have had across my 150. And the top lineups were clearly the Josh Allen alpha doubles, where Diggs, Kincaid, McCaffrey, A-Chain was the bring back for there. So really good here. And then it just did not do much with the rest of the lineup, right? 1.5% on Marquise Brown. It looks for spots where you're going to have under 10% guys, because I used all the same rules to build the lineups. So it did all right. This is a normal outcome, guys, in Millionaire Maker. You're not going to win every week in the Millionaire Maker. It's a kind of a lottery ticket where you're trying to win $1 million. It's the only way that you can do it. So we ended up with 2 lineups that were around the top 1%. Which outpaces, if we look at the top 5%, we had 3 lineups in the top 4 lineups in the top 5%. Not great, not terrible. Standard week when you're not on all of the stuff. That's just the way that it goes. But same lineup build got me there this week, just like every week. Hit a pick'em this weekend. Let's see, lost 50 on that one, won 200 on this one, lost 150. So even Steven on the pick'ems on Sunday. Josh Allen higher. The Josh Allen double, essentially, plus Dameon Pierce over his. Looking over at Underdog, I won in weekly winners this week. I didn't win the whole thing, but I got something. I won $10 with this lineup. I won $10 with this lineup. 1,200th place. What is this lineup? So Justin Fields, Montgomery, who I have a ton of. Madison, I really do think we got unlucky there. My running backs in this one are not great. Out. McKinnon not getting a lot of run. AJ Brown had a massive week. Puka Nacua had a big week. DJ, Amon-Ra playing in the flex. Tyler Higbee there. So a cash week for me there. And then this other lineup also looks like this one was Josh Allen stacks. Montgomery, Cook. This is a full-on Bills stack. Anytime the Bills go nuts, this lineup's probably going to cash. And I have 4 quarters remaining. Who's left to play in this one? What do I have left? I got somebody. Whatever. We'll figure that one out. And in the Eliminator, I could get eliminated. This would be horrible. 10 advance. I am 3 out. I'm 3 out, but I have something remaining. This lineup is a really good draft for... This lineup is a really good draft for an Eliminator. Chat thinks that it's Jalen Hyatt. It's not. It's Ken Walker. I have 3 running backs that are playing. Joe Mixon scored 8. Chuba scored 6.3 and Latavius scored 6.6. I need, let's say, I got to get to 90 points to feel okay about it. I probably got to get to 100 points, like to really totally make it, because these guys might have players on this team as well. I also have Danny Dimes, right? Click on the lineup. I got Daniel Jones. If he scores over 30 points, great. I've got Ken Walker in this lineup. I do not have anything else. So this is all the money is on Ken Walker the third tonight. Hyatt is who's on the weekly winners. Got it. Ken Walker Jr. Ken Walker the third. Brother, I need like a 20-point day on Underdog. I need it. Gotta have it so that I can stay involved in this Eliminator. This is the death week. I might not get there. My Scott Fishbowl League, charity league, my only season-long transactional league, I am losing, but I am 92% to win this one. This was my full-on zero RB draft. I don't think I drafted a running back in the first 10 rounds. 2 QBs, but my QBs on the bench. Gardner Minshew didn't start. Deshaun Watson out the morning of. Jameis should have started and didn't. I am projected to win this one because I still have DK Metcalf going tonight. Full-on zero RB that worked out. Devon A-Chain, Zach Moss, who I picked up for like $11 on in week 1 on waivers, and Kyron Williams, who I drafted super late in this one. I have a very good SFB team. I'd love to book the win tonight. Solid enough bench and depth. Lost Mike Williams, who I had to drop, but otherwise that team is looking good. Rainmakers, as I said, carried the day. This is not this 1 week, this 28,000. This is not just from this 1 week. That's many weeks prior. But looking at yesterday, I did take down like $4,000 for the Rainmaker for the London game, and then another $1,000 for the London game. I won a whole bunch of international packs. I won a whole bunch of other little that add up. So I won something like $10,000 yesterday in Rainmakers, which puts my day at even Steven, which is not easy to do, and I'm pretty kind of happy about it. Let me do that. I don't know why that's up there. So that's a nice save of a day. As you can see, like, here's all the different lineups that I have in Rainmakers. I don't know if this is from yesterday or if that's from the week before. It's clearly from the week before. Rainmakers like does not make things easy. Like, I have to like scroll way down here, right? Like here's some of these. I tried to win the qualifiers. I didn't. I came in 5th in this one, 5th in this one. I'd love to get a Rainmaker seat to the live final. Won a bunch of packs at core, won some money in the other, whatever levels that we had. Rainmaker tier, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase not paying off. Hopefully that pays off before the season's over. Had a couple of lineups that were in the running for the elite that could get all the way there. Didn't quite get there. This lineup very close with Allen, Waddle, Diggs, 1-400. So you can see, like, Rainmakers for me just kind of buoys my season play in daily fantasy for the last year and for this year. And I'm going to keep playing it because I really enjoy it. Taking a look at the Listener League. Congratulations to NGA Shalix or Ngash Alex. I don't know. However he pronounces it, went with the CJ Stroud, Nico Collins stack. Look at the low percentages here. Alvin Kamara coming back, caught 1 million footballs yesterday for 33 receiving yards. He had 13 receptions for 33 receiving yards. Like, full PPR is a trip. Love it. Kyron Williams in that lineup. Steph Diggs, AJ Brown from 5 under 5 was also under 5 in the SmizzGang League. Parham did not do anything, but it didn't matter. DJ Moore, 30 points. Texans defense, 12. Congratulations to you. You earned your seat into the Battle Royale in week 18. Apparently, Shawnee Mack is back. Went with Fields in this one. Diggs, Palmer, McCaffrey, Williams. Ate the chalk there. Got different with Mark Andrews with 25 points. Certainly a differentiator. Samuel, nobody was on him at 3,500, 18 fantasy points there, and attacked Miami with the Bills defense. Again, don't worry about the points that a defense can give up. Worry about how many dropbacks you're going to get on the other side, because that's where the points come from. Ashton Coates, 91 in third. Gone Postal, 83. Went with Russ Wilson. DC for life, 614 with the Stroud. Double stack, Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Matt Dunbar, 12. Coming in 6. Had Justin Fields. Crooksy, also with Fields. Cam Halverson, also with Fields and Komet. C Black M3 with AOC, and still got there because it allowed him to get to McCaffrey, Ertz, had Nico in that lineup, had Puka in that lineup, and the 27 points from the Cowboys defense, they certainly paid off. And Blasters, congratulations to everybody in the top 10. Make sure that you join the Discord. If you're a channel member, that unlocks all of the VIP channels for you, as well as the cheat sheet every Friday. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.